Let me tell you what happens when a fake HOA cop pulls a gun on your wife and suddenly you realize you've been living in a suburban nightmare with a twist no one could have seen coming. I'm standing there in my office coffee mug halfway to my lips when I look out the window and see this wannabe security guard, decked out in a tactical vest, waving a pistol in my wife's face over something as ridiculous as a resident badge. And the craziest thing? My wife, Claire, doesn't even flinch, just stares him down like she's more annoyed than afraid. As if getting a gun pointed at you is just part of a Tuesday fitness warm-up. That's when it hits Memabe, I don't know her at all. You ever get that feeling? Yeah, that happened. Let me back up a sec. Name's Logan Murphy, 39, freelance graphic designer, quiet guy, moved to Crestwood, Florida for the American dream. White picket fences, zero drama, maybe the occasional argument about garbage bins. My wife Claire teaches high-powered fitness classes to stressed-out execs, or so I thought. We moved here for peace. Joke's on us. That Tuesday started like any other. I was deep into a logo design when I heard yelling, real, angry yelling, the kind that sends a chill up your spine because, let's be honest, Crestwood doesn't do drama. I peeked outside and dropped my mug right onto my keyboard. There's Claire, cool as a cucumber, face to face with a dude in a golf cart that had Crestwood Safety Patrol plastered on the side in Comic Sans swear to God holding a real gun 2 feet from her nose. This guy, Danny Stone, is barking about community safety protocols and resident verification. Claire just asks, calm as a pond, what legal authority do you have to ask for my ID? That's when things spiral. Danny's face goes from beet red to white in seconds, and he waves the gun around for emphasis like a toddler with a toy, except this isn't a toy. And suddenly Claire moves forward, not back, and the next thing I know she's got his gun. Danny's face down on the driveway, his arm twisted behind his back, and she's disassembling the gun one-handed without breaking eye contact. The parts go scattering across the lawn. I'm standing there, stunned, coffee dripping, thinking, did I marry Jason Bourne and just not notice? The neighbors are slack-jawed. Mrs. Patterson's out front with her mouth open so wide you'd think she was catching flies. And Bob Martinez, our local car guy, just nods and mutters, finally, some sense. Then Jennifer Smith shows up in her pristine SUV, like she's responding to a 4-alarm fire. She's HOA president, always perfectly put together, always smiling with her teeth but never with her eyes. She starts apologizing for overzealous training, waving official-looking papers, saying Danny was hired as a new community safety officer. And today was just a training drill that went a little sideways. The paperwork looks real, embossed seal, all that jazz, but something in Jennifer's performance feels off. Danny gets up, gathers his gun parts, and stumbles off like he just woke up from a bad dream. Jennifer reassures everyone this was an isolated incident, promises a full review, and the crowd slowly drifts away, some folks a little too nervous now about the idea of armed security. Claire, meanwhile, is stretching at the mailbox like nothing happened. I ask if she's okay. She shrugs. Danny needs better training. She heads inside, leaves me standing there with a pile of gun parts and a brain full of questions. By lunchtime, my curiosity gets the better of me. I Googled Danny Stone's been unemployed for months, but suddenly he's driving a $60,000 pickup and living large. And this Crestwood Security Solutions that Jennifer keeps mentioning doesn't exist. No website, no registration, nothing. I dig deeper. Same company name pops up in other Florida police reports, always tied to HOAs, always ending with residents being forced to sell under weird circumstances. I check the HOA financials, and get this: they've been paying $3,000 a month for security for over a year and a half. That's $54,000 straight into the ether. Danny, the newly minted security pro, has bought 3 guns in the last month, all financed by this fake security company. And then a certified letter shows up. I've been fined $1,000 for harassing security personnel and creating a hostile environment for HOA staff. 72 hours to pay or else. Claire glances at the letter and just says, she's testing boundaries. This is recon. Who talks about HOA fights like military ops? And suddenly, every neighbor who witnessed the morning incident gets similar fines. $300 for Mrs. Patterson for encouraging disruptive behavior, $500 for Bob for providing moral support. Even the mailman gets dinged. The community is in chaos, everyone's picking sides. The older folks are scared, worried about recent break-ins, which, by the way, never actually happened, and the younger crowd is starting to ask questions. Jane, Bob's daughter-in-law, who's a paralegal, digs up the HOA bylaws. Turns out Jennifer can't legally do half of what she's been doing. Claire, meanwhile, starts checking the perimeter, locking doors, noting sight lines, muttering about escalation. I feel like I'm living with a secret agent. That night, the HOA meeting is pure chaos. Jennifer gives a performance worthy of an Oscar, painting Claire as an unstable hothead, fear-mongering about rising crime, using charts and testimonials and before and after photos of other improved communities. I get up and lay out the evidence. The fake company, the vanishing money, Danny's sudden upgrade, the whole 9 yards. The room is split. Jennifer's mask starts to slip, and talk of a formal audit fills the air. Back home, Claire is deep into Jennifer's background. Her ex-husband left her for a military intelligence officer. Her debts are massive, and she's got a pattern of targeting military families across Florida. And here's the gut punch. Claire's name is on a target list, circled in red, with notes about her schedule and habits. Jennifer has been watching us since before we even met her. Next day, Jennifer launches a campaign of psychological warfare, visiting every senior in the neighborhood, spreading rumors that I'm a threat to community safety, getting them to sign petitions against me. Our mail gets intercepted. Someone tries to change our address with the post office. Surveillance photos show up off our house, our routines, even crosshairs drawn over Claire's face. Someone is taking this way too far. It gets worse. Private investigators tail us. Danny recruits more goons for enhanced patrols, and I get hit with a restraining order for intimidating HOA officials. Jennifer's crew now documents my every move, waiting for me to slip up. Claire ramps up her own evidence gathering, photographing everything, documenting every violation, using equipment and techniques that make me question everything I thought I knew about her. She knows about surveillance, counterintelligence, electronic bug stuff civilians aren't supposed to know. And when she finds pro-grade listening devices hidden around our house, I realize this is bigger than neighborhood squabbles. The dam finally breaks when Danny, after one too many drinks, tries to threaten Claire in a grocery store aisle. She records everything. He spills the beans about Jennifer's real operation: systematic harassment of military families, fabricating federal charges, and connections to law enforcement that can make problems disappear. It's not just about money. It's about targeting military personnel for reasons that go way beyond greed. Claire finally, and with that deadly calm, tells me the truth. She spent 8 years in Army Special Operations, now works as a contractor for military intelligence. Our move to Crestwood wasn't random. She was here on assignment, watching Jennifer's network for federal agencies. The fitness classes, the quiet life, even our marriage, all part of her cover. And my amateur sleuthing just forced her hand, moving things from surveillance mode to active intervention. It's a lot to take in, but she's dead serious. Jennifer's network is connected to domestic extremism targeting service members. Then Jennifer UPS the ante shows up with a folder of classified photos, threats, and a public ultimatum. Claire has 24 hours to surrender or be treated as an enemy agent. And that night, 3 masked attackers break into our home. Claire moves like lightning, disarms, subdues, zip ties them up, and calmly debriefs the police with military precision. The sheriff's eyes go wide as Claire identifies herself as retired Army Special Ops. Suddenly, the police are treating our house like a counterterrorism scene. Federal agents arrive before dawn. Jennifer is arrested as she tries to flee. Her house is packed with surveillance gear, fake IDs, and links to extremist networks. The investigation reveals our HOA was just one node in a web stretching across 4 states, all aimed at gathering intelligence on military families for sale to foreign governments. Danny, shaken, turns state's witness. The old community divides Mrs. Patterson apologizes, Bob offers to mow my lawn, and even the most frightened residents thank Claire for keeping them safe. A year later, Crestwood has a new HO aerial: transparency, real accountability, and a garden where Jennifer's house used to stand, honoring the families who fought back. Danny helps veterans avoid the same traps he fell into. Jane and Bob lead community safety workshops, and Claire trains military spouses in self-defense. Know more secrets. My graphic design gigs have gone national, helping other neighborhoods spot the signs of manipulation before it's too late. Sometimes the wildest battles aren't fought overseas, but right on your front lawn by people you thought you knew, against enemies you never saw coming. And the line between ordinary life and national security, turns out it runs right through the center of the American dream. So, now I gotta skiff. It was your wife standing on that driveway. Would you have seen it coming? Drop a comment. Right or wrong, justice or overkill, community or conspiracy. Let's hear it. And if you made it to the end, give this a like, because sometimes fighting for the neighborhood means fighting for the country, whether you signed up for it or not.